Hey guys, Chris with Western Colloid here with my Uncle Tim. We're talking job site setup today. So when we come to a job and you're going to put one of our roofs on, it's really important that the customer's giving us a space either on their sidewalk or in their parking lot, and we want to keep it clean. So ideally we're going to come in, put a high quality roof system down efficiently, and we're going to leave that job, and if we've done it right, they won't ever know we were there. So have some tarps, have some trash bags. We got a pump here. So what we want to do is kind of walk you through some of the precautions you should take and some of the safety procedures involved with setting up for a job. So bear with us, and we're going to give you all we know about trying to set up a job site properly. Thanks. So I want to pass it off to Tim. Tim's been doing this a long time. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody who's more knowledgeable about Western Colloid systems and applications. So Tim, Mackey, dive into some of the particulars.
Chris had mentioned a little bit about prepping our area, very important, so we set up the tarps. Another thing I highly recommend is a water hose. Have it hooked up, ready to go. Mistakes happen. Guys just, forget from time to time, something can happen. If you're prepared with a water hose, you can clean up that mess a whole lot easier than if you already have to go find the water hose, find where you can hook it up. So something you should keep in mind when you're setting up a job site. So what we're going to talk about today is Western Colloid's delivery methods of emulsion. Tankers, 25 to 5,000 gallons of emulsion. So what we're going to do first is we're going to hook up a Graco 733 to the tanker. Okay guys, so we're going to start with hooking up our spray hose to the pump. Caps and plugs, very important. When you're done, you want to have plugs, caps, so you don't have material leaking out. So we're going to remove the cap, take out the plug.
So now we're hooking up the hose. This particular one is a 1250 PSI hose, which will be sufficient for the emulsion. This is a Graco 1017 lower end. Going to be 17 gallons a minute at about 1,000 max PSI. Depending on what you set your pressure at, those numbers may vary. But very important, this is a 1250 PSI hose, which is going to be sufficient for what this lower end can produce. These are pressurized hoses, and make sure you have the proper pressure hose for what you're trying to do. So this particular hose is the one that's going to go up onto the roof. This is what we're going to put the roof on with. Okay, so Tim has put this on here, and then we'll move on to hooking up the transfer hose. So we have a 2-inch transfer hose with Camlock Fittings.
So guys, we were lucky enough today to have a contractor supply us with some equipment to hook up to our containers, tanks. Just because I see, and these guys did a real good job with this, I recommend you keep stuff cleaner. But they put in this heavy-duty hook. Sometimes this stuff gets gummed up, and it's nearly impossible to get out. So this is a good idea. They just beefed it up. So the thing that's really important is keeping things clean and using white lithium grease to lubricate.
All right guys, so we're ready to hook up to the lower end now with our 2-inch transfer hose. Again, we have 2-inch Camlock fittings. We highly recommend Camlocks. Okay, don't get the pipe threaded. This gives you an easy connect and disconnect at the end of the job, at the end of the day. If you're going to transfer from a tanker to a tote, from job to job, this is just a really secure, easy way to move this hose from container to container, and like I said, at the end of the day, when you're trying to clean up. So highly recommend Camlock fittings on all of your hoses. So there's that. In addition, we got a trash bag here. So we're about to pull this off. I don't really know what's going to come out of here. So just as a precautionary measure, I'm going to give Tim a trash bag to catch anything that might come out.
So what we've done is we've tilted the pump forward. That should eliminate most, but it still can be a little bit of residual emulsion that flows out of there. So Just like we sprayed the other side, we're going to spray this side. That's how we lubricate this. Slide this on. Close our Camlock fittings. We're secure there. Now we're going to move over to the tank. Okay, so we're going to talk about something else. In the meantime, I'm just going to open this fitting. Same thing, I got a bucket here. I'm going to lubricate this as well. Well, what we're going to hook up into this system right now is a Y strainer filter basket. What this does is, unfortunately, with the use of tanks, there is the chance to get some small, what we call chunkies. It happens sometimes. There's just no way around it. So, filters. Filters are your friend. They will take care of that. So it's pretty simple. Cover comes off. Filter goes in. So we recommend you have two screens, two filters. So that way you have a problem, you say, hey, I got to clean the filter, take the cover off, take that one out, put it in a bucket of water, put a new one in, you're hooked back up, the guys on the roof are back up and running, no downtime, very little to speak of. So highly recommend it using filters. So we're going to lubricate both of these.
So a lot of what we're doing, you guys, is these are all precautionary measures. So if we have a problem with a loss of pressure on the roof, it could be that there was something in this filter. What Tim was talking about, having a bucket of water close by. Have your spare filter in the bucket of water. And now if you ever do have an issue with something slowing down your pressure or slowing down production, you take this off, you pull the old filter out, you put the new clean filter in, you take the dirty one, you just throw it in the bucket of water. So the main thing is I got 4 or 5 guys up on the roof that are waiting for this to get repaired.
Alright guys, so we talked about the filter, so now we're going to hook up our other Camlock fitting. Chris, hand me that white lithium. Again, we spray it, spray this.
And this is just a really good habit, you guys. Using the grease, man, it's just so, on a cold morning, trying to pull caps off, trying to pull plugs off. I don't want to fight with it to start my day. The grease takes them 2 seconds to put on there. Just throw a little grease on there. Keep it on hand. Keep it around. The emulsion's sticky stuff, and its consistency changes depending on whether it's hot or cold. Especially when it's cold, it can be challenging to pull 2 pieces of metal that are kind of glued together with emulsion. The grease just helps.
Okay, so guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to open the valve. What I'm going to ask Chris to do right now is something really important when you're using a tanker. Chris, jump to the top of the tank for us. And we've got to crack the lid. We've got to vent it. If we don't vent this tank, we will suck the sides in. So very important that you vent the tank.
All right, guys, so I'm up here. I'm going to open this. Really important. This tank, as large as it is, it absolutely will crush. So as the pump's pulling on it all day and sucking the air out of this container, it is a closed vacuum system. If we don't give it a vent, this tank absolutely can crush. And under worst case scenario, it actually could put a split in it. So very important, and now it's leaking product out onto your parking lot. So very important, every morning we're gonna open the top of this tank to vent it so it has air coming in constantly into it, okay? And when we're doing that, same as the 3/4 inch hose, same as the 1/2 inch hose, same as all the system that we're working with, it can be pressurized, and be aware of that. So this tank included can be under pressure. So what I recommend, you have all these latches I'm pulling off. The hinge is over here. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but this is the hinge on this side. I've left this last latch still attached. This is gonna be the last one I'm gonna do. On occasion, when you go to open this, it can be under a little bit of pressure. It gets hot, gets cold. So I do not want this thing to fly up into me. I want to be on the other side. So when I pull this last latch off and I give this pressure to lift it up, I want to make sure if it flies up, I'm not in the way. So be safe, keep your body clear. So I'm gonna open this up. Just gonna take this latch. That's it. And I'm gonna leave it like that all day while we're working. It's gonna stay like this. At the end of the day, before we go home for the night, I'll take this and close it all back up. Okay, that way the material doesn't get dried out overnight.
Okay, Chris has vented the top of the tank, so now we're ready to open the butterfly valve. Just grab the release right there, pull it down. That's it, it locks right there. So now we have emulsion flowing to our pump. The next thing I would do is I would start the pump. I'm gonna mention this right now, guys. This is a bypass house. This is something we recommend our contractors to upgrade their pump to from the way you get it from Graco. Graco only has a little bleeder valve on here. I'm not a big fan of it. So we put in a T, put a nice 4,000 PSI ball valve on here, and then we put another piece of hose on here. My recommendation is 10, 12, 15 foot piece of hose. We use it at different times for different things. But typically, when I'm ready to start, I usually pump through my bypass just to make sure everything is flowing and I have pressure right here on the ground. Once I see that, then I close my valve and I know I got emulsion going up to the roof and I'm ready to start roofing. All right, thanks guys. Hey guys, Tim from Western Colloid. Just wanted to share a little tip with you. So here is a T. So if I'm on a big job and I wanted to hook up a couple of pumps and have two crews going on the same job, I put on a T, can put a filter on each side, hook up my transfer hose, and now I can put multiple guys to work on the same roof. So a bigger job, it's an option you can consider. Any questions? Any other information you need, be sure to come and visit us at westerncolloid.com. Give us a call. Thank you.